called a friend of mine. Oh, there she is. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, guys.
Alicia Aulette. She is a crime prevention specialist with us, and she is a crime prevention specialist extraordinaire. On Live Beyond Patrol, we try to take you behind the scenes and introduce you to some of the people who kind of keep the county safe. They're out there doing the work that maybe you don't see on Live on Patrol, which is our sheriff's live stream. So this is Alicia. Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
I was just telling folks that I was going out to the Canine Academy this morning. I'm going to introduce people to our new canines, but I just keep reading police reports about scams, and then I log on to Facebook and I see other agencies. St. Anthony Police Department just posted about more scams. And I read these police reports and I see people they're losing hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and you were just telling me this morning that
Millions.
Millions.
Millions of dollars.
Millions.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, I read 2 different police reports. The one individual lost $400,000.
Yep.
Another lost $250,000.
Yep.
And all people do is call you, lie to you, scare you, and steal your money.
Exactly.
You had some advice for me. You said there's 4 characteristics of every scam call.
Yeah.
That'll tip people off. That'll say, nope, this isn't real. This is not real. So, before we get to that, though, tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been with the agency? What do you do, and what do you like most about it?
I've been with the agency for about 9 years now with Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. Everything from SRO, courts, investigations, and now crime prevention. And what crime prevention really is really bringing awareness and safety out to you, our viewers, and our community members to help educate you to deter crime from happening each and every day. Because it's not 100% guaranteed we can stop crime, but working together in education, we can help deter that crime from happening.
That's right. And where are we right now? We're sitting outside of a senior living facility. Why are we here, Alicia?
Well, senior living facilities are kind of places that I go all year round, especially during the winter. I'm talking to seniors throughout the winter time, specifically about scams, fraud, and identity theft. And why is it important? Per the FTC and the government, seniors are most at risk for losing the highest amount of money at any given time in a scam, anywhere between $2,000, $500,000, $2 million.
$2 million.
In one of our cases a few years back, our deputies said that they had about $2 million. Seniors are at risk because they just sold their home. They have all that money in the bank. They have their life savings, Social Security, all Medicare, but also a lot of our seniors now are baby boomers. They're not technology savvy. So that's where it's hard for them to recognize it. Or there's mental health, for seniors as well, where maybe they're on the cusp of not understanding that they have that as well. And so I reach out not just to our seniors, but to our older adults of those seniors as well. So
it's just sickening that they prey on seniors, and they prey on people who, they're so trusting, and they're so forgiving, and they care so much about their family. So talk to us a little bit about how these scams work. You said there's 4 characteristics that they all have in common. Now, there's a lot of different scams, right?
Yes.
People will call and they'll say, hi, I'm Steve Linders from the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. You owe me money because you have a jaywalking ticket. That's BS. We don't call anybody for that. Other people will call and they'll say, hey, your kid has been arrested. I just read a police report today. Said your kid has been arrested. We need $4,000 worth of bail. Otherwise, something bad's going to happen. He's going to go to jail. Sometimes they'll use AI to fake your loved one's voice, right? So you'll hear them in the background. Or they'll actually call, right?
Yep.
So all these things happen. What are the 4 characteristics regardless of the scam?
So regardless of the scam, the 4 characteristics, I kind of go with the 4 P's. So the first one is you'll recognize it not right away, but it'll be the first contact. So it'll be personal to you. It'll be either them coming after, 1, your freedom, 2, a family or a family problem, or 3, your money. Ultimately, every scam ends with money. So that'll be our 4th P, but not jumping ahead. But our first P is that personal aspect, that they're going to reach out to you. They're going to do it through social media, text, email, and phone calls are your big ones that they'll reach out to you first. The second thing that they're going to do is they're going to tell you there's a problem, and it's going to be a big problem, and you got to get yourself out of it. Sometimes for our seniors, they still throw in a prize here or two, like you won a prize, and they'll go that route. But primarily, it's going to be that problem. Once they tell you that problem, they're going to lay it on thick by telling you that you owe money and you have to make a payment, and then they pressure you. So
okay, so we've got, it's very personal. They
personal.
hit you with the things you care about most, your family. They hit you with your freedom or your money, but not necessarily in that order. Usually it goes family, money, or your freedom, right?
Yep, any one of those.
And then they hit you with the problem, which is made up but entirely a huge crisis.
Yep, something that's impactful to you. And then third is going to be that pressure. They're going to lay it on thick. And then that fourth one is payment. They always ask for a payment. And that payment that they're asking for these days are non-traditional forms of payment. Cryptocurrency. How many of you have actually heard of that?
Yeah.
How does it work? You know, it's very new to us.
And when's the last time somebody paid you told somebody to pay a parking ticket with crypto?
Never.
Doesn't happen.
No, it shouldn't happen. And what these guys are doing is telling you to go to an ATM, cryptocurrency, put the cash or money in there after you withdraw it from your bank. Some of them are also having you turn it into gold, and they're actually picking it up at your door, which is actual gold. And it's usually your life savings for our seniors. If not, it's $2,000 or $3,000 at first. But then if they keep you on the hook and they keep that pressure on, they're going to keep going until they can get even more out of you. And some people are getting scammed for weeks on end.
Weeks on end.
Weeks on end, months on end. Some of our romance scams, that's years. So it's hard when people fall, that personal contact they have with these people. And the biggest thing with the pressure, though, is that they're going to tell you not to tell anyone. That's a big giveaway there, is don't tell anyone. Don't go and talk to anyone. They'll try to keep you on the phone. If you don't believe them, they're going to say, well, I'll have you talk to my supervisor. And they're going to keep lying to you. They're going to keep doing anything they can because they don't care about you. So what can you do to keep yourself safe? Ultimately, after you kind of recognize those four things, you want to go ahead and just take a deep breath. If you start feeling that pressure on the phone and people are asking for payment, go ahead and just take 3 deep breaths. Relax your body. Is this real? Why do they need my money? Ultimately, hang up that phone.
Hang up. Just hang up.
You are in a safe space. If I was standing right here, I'm safe. There's no one here to harm me. People, if they're texting you and threatening you, maybe you hear a child in the background.
And it sounds just like your child or your grandchild?
They might do that.
They do that, yeah.
And they've done that through the holidays with kidnapping scams recently.
A friend of mine, he had a son who was actually in the Marine. You were a Marine.
Yes.
All right, his son is a Marine. And he was stationed overseas. And my friend got a call. And it was his Marine son's voice. But he knew there was no way his Marine son could have been calling him. But he said, and this is a very, very smart individual, he's actually a journalist in the Twin Cities, and he said, if I hadn't known exactly where my son was, it was that real, that convincing, I probably would have fallen for it. So people need to understand, just hang up. Even if you hear somebody's voice, call law enforcement and start there, right?
Call a trusted number. Ultimately, no matter where you're at, find yourself, you're in a level of safety. Okay, your personal safety. Now we need to think about our family and friends, wherever that pressure is coming from. So let's hang up the phone, call that family member. If they're overseas, you have a chain of command there. No matter where it is, call a number you know and that you've used before. If not, they're going to keep calling back.
Okay, yep.
So
tell me a story that just broke your heart about a scam where somebody, it was just so sad. Just tell people what kind of impact this has on families.
A sad one, I have personal ones because really, I tell everybody in my presentations, raise your hand. We're all a victim of a scam. So it's personal to me, it's personal to each and every one of you. But a sad one was a few years ago. I got a call from a daughter of a senior, and she kept telling me, I think my mom's getting scammed. This guy, he's down in a different country. She's been talking to him online, and she won't believe me. And she's like, I know she's sending him money because I know money is leaving her account, but ultimately I don't know what else to do because she won't listen to me or my siblings. And there's no power of attorney for her to help her mom. Her mom still has the freedom of choice. So, I mean, we started thinking creative ways about how I could go talk to her. But while we were trying to set that up, ultimately a case was actually opened. And the only reason why the case was truly ever opened, or her mom actually was confronted, is because when she withdrew money, the bank eventually recognized this, and the banks put in a MARC report. So it was a report that goes to law enforcement and social services that notified us that there might be a problem here.
Yeah.
A senior is getting scammed. And law enforcement made contact with the mom, and eventually she caved, and she lost well over $42,000, which is a lot.
It's a lot.
And the daughter, I mean, she felt so hopeless as an older adult. You know, how can we prevent it for our seniors, but from everyone out there in the community?
Do you think there's a shame factor in this too, or an embarrassment factor? Because I have people very close to me. I won't mention her name, but Sunny. Hi, Sunny. My sister Sunny. She was scammed out of hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of iTunes cards, right?
Yeah.
And my sister is very smart, but she's very caring, and she's also, you know, she's willing to trust people. So I think a big part of this, and why we're not talking more about this, and why word isn't spreading, and people don't know about it, is people are embarrassed.
We are.
People who get scammed and who fall for these things, they're embarrassed a little bit, but there's no reason to be embarrassed because every single person out there has either been scammed, like you just said,
Yep.
or knows and loves someone who's been scammed. So no embarrassment. Let's start talking about this. Let's spread the word, and let's just hang up on these people and put them out of business, right?
And it's something that you said, Steve. It's personal, and it's personal to each and every one of us because we've been scammed. And we have to remember that, you know, if we are safe, we're okay. And the hardest part is that it's something, they're attacking you and your money and something that you cherish, but our lives are more important than our money. Okay, that's property. But when they swindle you, and that's what this theft is, it's a theft by swindle. They convince you to hand over the money, and that's why we feel so more attacked as a victim.
Yeah. It's
is
a real
because
violation.
it is. It's a violation of being tricked and being gullible. And we as humans, and Minnesota nice, we can't help ourselves. So that's where I tell my community members the best way for us to keep on top of the current scams and what's going on is to tell our stories and talk to each other, communicate with each other each and every day. For our seniors who are going out for coffee, talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, when you're on at family gatherings, you know, I'm getting scammed. Our generation in the 45-ish range, 35 to 45, are most at risk for losing a lot, like small amounts of money, but more over time, versus seniors who will lose more money in one given time.
I'll say this too, Alicia. I've been 29 for 31 consecutive years now. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
And it happens to my generation too. It's all generations.
It is.
Just one last thing before we let folks go. You work a lot with stores too, right?
Yes.
You try to educate people who work in grocery stores, people who work in big box stores, so they can recognize when somebody might be scammed, when somebody keeps coming in, like Sunny. Hi, Sunny. When somebody comes in and they keep buying iTunes cards, right?
Yes.
Like, what should people who work in those businesses do? What should they watch out for?
You know, the businesses, it's a tricky one. You know, our LPs or loss prevention officers there, they kind of will reach out to myself, or we'll kind of look at larger scams that are happening. But really keeping an eye out, because you kind of recognize it first. And we get a lot of actually calls from people in stores saying, hey, I think these guys are using fraudulent credit cards, or these people are skimming cards that are already on the rack. And that goes to our banks. Our banks are key at calling or saying, our U.S. Postal Service, how many seniors will go there and try to mail cash?
Yeah.
So they'll call us when they have a senior who's acting suspicious too. So all of our businesses, we're working together to try to problem solve this as a whole community. But ultimately, if you are a victim of giving money that is a theft by swindle crime. So call law enforcement, call 911 where you're at, where the crime occurred, and make a police report. After that, you can always go to the ftc.gov. Great place to go, whether you've actually given money or not. You can actually enter phone numbers, email addresses, make a report at the ftc.gov, and they actually give you a step-by-step plan at the very end of how to kind of maintain a recovery and work through it. And that's kind of ultimately how can we work through it after we're a victim. You know, you can get a free credit report each year through Equifax, TransUnion. You can do all of that and set yourself up. You can close down your credit. If you give your social security number to these people, you can close down your credit. My sister fell victim to a crime, a scam last year.
Our sisters are going to hate us after this.
You know, and she called me crying. I had to stop, and I told her, she's like, my boyfriend even told me I'm an idiot. And, you know, and people, this is where that personal contact is. I told her, I'm like, well, karma will find your boyfriend. But at the end of the day, the reason why you fell for this scam is because it's something that you use every day and it's personal to you. And so she gave that information freely and willingly, but manipulated by these
because she thought she trusted
people
the
out there.
organization or whoever.
She thought she did.
Okay, real quickly, Alicia, thank you for being here and thank you for your work. It's so important. Just real quickly, give us the 4 characteristics that all of these scams share. The first one is...
So, to recognize these scams, first, it's that personal contact that you have. They're going to come after your freedom, your family, or some money. They're going to then pressure you, first they're going to personalize it, then they're going to go ahead and tell you there's a problem or a prize. Then they're going to go ahead and pressure you into some form of a payment.
Yep, don't do it. Just
don't do it, ladies and gentlemen.
If they say they're us, if they say they're law enforcement, doesn't matter if it's Hennepin County, St. Anthony, St. Paul Police, anywhere, Cottage Grove, whatever. Hang up on them. You can call that organization. Call a trusted number like Alicia said. But stay safe out there. Let's keep talking about it, everybody, and share this information with your friends and family, especially the seniors in your life who are preyed upon, sadly, by these savages. I'm going to throw the FCC link in the comments on Facebook of the last post I just made so everybody can access it there. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back next week. I'm going out to the Canine Academy where we're going to see the new canines and check in on our Sonny, who had both back legs broken a couple years, or a year and a half ago, but who's back now. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, Alicia.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you soon.
Voices rising up, and justice in demand. Shout out girls, the name the sheriff gave, but they took it and owned it, fearless and brave.